Not to be afraid, not to be kowtowed, not to run for the exits, as many on the right are doing these days, including the President of the United States to some extent, because he's not been strong enough with the domestic terrorists that have been destroying this nation. My brave client, Chief Justice Roy Moore, and I brought a lawsuit. We brought many lawsuits for defamation in attempts by the left to destroy him, not just as a pedophile, which is totally false. I repeat that, totally false, but as a racist from the South because he comes from Alabama and believes in God and the Bible. We brought several lawsuits, and one of which was against that vile comedian Sacha Baron Cohen. What did Cohen do? Just last year in his show, Who is America? He disguised himself fraudulently as an Israeli Mossad agent. That's the equivalent of the CIA, but more competent, I might add, and brought him to Washington to receive an award on the 70th anniversary of the founding of Israel. Chief Justice Moore and his wife, Kayla, who runs the Foundation for Moral Law, are big supporters of Israel. They're evangelicals. They're even more supportive of Israel than the Jewish left, of course, which supports the Palestinians, Ilham Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and the rest. One good example is Bernie Sanders, who's Jewish but tries to hide it, a despicable, self-hating Jew, someone who has no integrity. But that aside, we brought a lawsuit against Sacha Baron Cohen because the Chief Justice was tricked to come to get an award, and when he got there, he was humiliated and defamed by Sacha Baron Cohen, who claimed during the interview that he had a wand that was developed by the Israeli Defense Force that would beep anytime you were in the presence of a pedophile, and of course it beeped. Chief Justice Moore walked off the set. We then gave notice to Showtime and CBS, which carried this show for Sacha Baron Cohen, that they would be sued for defamation if they aired it. But being the arrogant individuals and people that they are at CBS and Showtime, they aired it anyway, and we filed suit. And who did they hire as a law firm to represent them? An equally vile law firm by the name of Davis Wright Tremaine, one of the most dishonest law firms I've ever dealt with in my 42-year career, someone who defends the fake news media repeatedly, someone who is very pro-leftist, pro-Democrat, pro-Obama, Clinton, you name it. These people are way out, but more importantly, you can have your ideology, but they're also liars, and they're dishonest. And this is something that I've been dealing with in a number of cases over the years. To make the long story short, the case was delayed because an establishment Republican judge, Thomas Hogan, in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, transferred it to New York, where there was a forum selection clause. We maintained that the release which Chief Justice Moore routinely signed before the interview, was of no force and effect because he was defrauded into coming to Washington, D.C. to be interviewed and to be harmed by Sacha Baron Cohen. Anyway, it wound up in New York. And who did it wind up in front of? An African-American Obama-appointed judge. And this gives us some hope because this judge, Andrew Carter, just yesterday, to his credit, and this is the kind of person that we need on the judiciary, on the bench, an African-American Obama appointee, nevertheless, denied a motion to dismiss by Sacha Baron Cohen, not allowing this case to proceed. We're now going to discover it. And we will depose Sacha Baron Cohen and the others at CBS, particularly with regard to their various interrelationships, but also the case in chief. And what happened? No sooner than a few hours after that motion to dismiss was denied, Davis Wright Tremaine, on behalf of Sacha Baron Cohen, CBS and Showtime, filed this misrepresentative letter in the court so the media would think that the judge is going to grant ultimately a motion to dismiss. A total lie, a total lie. They quashed any news coverage. Of course, Fox News, the two-faced Fox News, didn't cover any of this. It never covers anything that Larry Klayman or his clients do. I've had issues with them for years. And just in the last few days, for instance, Ed Henry's been fired from the network for alleged sexual harassment by Suzanne Scott, who ironically, despicably, was the enabler who allowed Roger Ailes to go on his reign of terror against women at Fox. She actually got hotel rooms for Ailes so Ailes could sexually harass my client, Laurie Loon. We've sued Suzanne Scott and we've sued Fox, but she fires Ed Henry with great fanfare, the hypocrite that she is, the person who's covered up these sexual harassment scandals for many years at Fox News, and then claimed she knew nothing about it, much like, people in post-war Germany claim they didn't know what was going on at Dachau in the middle of Munich with regard to a Holocaust at the concentration camp there. This is what we're dealing with. And I know my language is strong today because I am upset. And I'm upset at what the left and its media tries to do, and hack law firms like Davis Wright try to do to good people, particularly from the South. I'm writing a column today about the South. The South is much more open and less racist than the North. Southerners have learned how to live together. There was a show that I've been watching for the last few weeks, Heart of Dixie. It's a comedy. It started in 2011, ended in 2014. And I urge you to watch it because that's the way things were before Obama, Sharpton, Farrakhan, Black Lives Matter, New Black Panthers Party, and the rest of the white-hating racists and cop-hating racists tried to divide this country, and now they have succeeded. Well, people like Judge Roy Moore and I are fighting back, and you need to fight back, and the president needs to fight back. It's not enough to arrest 4 people that are destroying this country. Step up to the plate, Mr. President. I know that I've been harsh lately, but do your job. Man up. It's not enough to play politics. This country is being destroyed. So that's my message for today. We are doing the job of your worthless Justice Department. Your worthless Justice Department run by a fat blowhard, William Barr, who just shoots his mouth off and then puts his head underground like Puxatawny Phil, the groundhog in Pennsylvania. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Sign up for our class actions against the communist Chinese. Support our cases against the leftist media. Support our citizens' grand juries. We need you to join our army because we need to do it for ourselves as our country is slipping away. And share this podcast on freedomwatchusa.org, on Spotify, on iTunes, on Roku, on Amazon Fire, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Parler, P-A-R-L-E-R now, which is the conservative equivalent of Twitter. Look for it there. Join us and fight for your country and fight for yourselves because we are all in grave danger today. The left is out to get us. The left is out to take our property away. And the left is out to kill us. That's just simply a fact. In fact, people have died already. God bless you. God bless America. God save America, particularly on this July 4th weekend. And let us thank God for our great country that together we will retain and we will save with his grace. Thank you for listening to me. And listen to my radio show this weekend, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman, where I have a brave African-American, Demetrius Penny, a police officer from Dallas, Texas, say the same things that I'm now just saying. And he does things. He doesn't just talk. God bless you. God save you. And see you next week.